On the news this morning, Rivers State Assembly passes anti-open grazing law. Rivers residents registration law. Federal government confirms increase in petrol price. President Buhari to meet with security chiefs on Thursday. Police Special Investigation Panel on DCP Abba Kyari yet to submit report. On the foreign scene, Biden broker deal with Taliban. Mike Pence. I am Ifiemi Andrew. President Muhammadu Buhari is to meet with security chiefs on Thursday at the presidential villa in Abuja. A statement said the president will be brought up to speed on security development, while plans to bring a decisive end to the insecurity challenges will be formulated. The Nigeria Police Force says the probe into the alleged indictment of DCP Abba Kyari by the FBI being conducted by the NPF Special Investigation Panel SIP is still ongoing. In a statement, it asked the public to note that the panel has not submitted its report to the Inspector General of Police as being wrongly reported in some news outlet and online platforms. The force also assured the public that the outcome of investigations by the probe panel would be communicated accordingly upon conclusion of the investigations. IPOB has threatened to resume the every Monday sit-at-home protest from August 23. The group's spokesperson, Ima Powerful, said they will deal with anyone who fails to comply with the protest if they restart. Recall that the proscribed group had suspended the weekly protest meant to prevail on the federal government to release their leader, Nnamdi Kanu, who is in detention over allegations of treasonable felony. IPOB had, while suspending the protest last week, said the exercise will only hold on the days Kanu would appear in court. The abductors of the students and staff of the College of Agriculture and Animal Science, Bakura in Zamfara State, are demanding 300 million naira for their release. The provost of the college, Habibu Mainas, confirmed this to newsmen. He said 20 people were abducted, including 15 students, 4 staff, a driver, on Sunday. During the attack, the gunmen killed 2 watchmen and a police officer. Moving on, the Rivers State House of Assembly has passed the Rivers State Prohibition of Open Rearing and Grazing Bill into law. The passage of the bill followed a report by the Chairman House Committee on Agriculture, Ansley Mugugwo, who had 13 recommendations after its public hearing on the bill. Most important in the recommendation is the barring of herders from bearing firearms. Debating on the bill, the lawmaker representing Obiakwa Constituency 2, Michael Chinda, argued against the provision in the bill that allows a pathway for cattle in communities. Mr. Chinda said such provisions should be removed from the bill as it is capable of causing a breach of peace between herders and residents. On their part, the lawmakers representing Kana Constituency 1, Barene Dia, his counterpart in time, Matthew DK, Ogba Egbema, Endoni Constituency 1, Christian Ahiakwo, and Obiakwa Constituency 1, Martin Amewule, argued in favor of providing a pathway for livestock. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the House, Ikunyo Waji Bani, in his ruling highlighted the importance of the bill.
Farmers, and we have to ensure that our communities are safe for our people. That is what this bill intends to achieve in the state. So I want to thank members for your contribution. Let me divide the house. If you are the opinion that the House will pass the Rivers State Prohibition of Open Rearing and Grazing Bill 2021, can you indicate by raising your hands? Votes for 16, against 1. A bill for a law to prohibit open rearing and grazing of livestock and provide for the establishment and administration of ranches and connected matters. Third reading taken.
Correspondent Mika Otuka reports that the House also during plenary passed the Rivers State Residents Registration Bill into law. The House adjourned to Wednesday, September 1, 2021. The president of Ijaw National Congress, INC, Benjamin Okaba, says the PIB bill signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari does not represent the position of the Ijaw region expressed during the various public hearings. Professor Okaba said the INC will soon make public their position on the 3% allocated to oil and gas bearing communities.
The 3% is not agreeable to us, but what do we do next? For now, I'm not going to be categorical until that stakeholders meeting. We remain resolute and committed to our earlier position that which is the 3% is boundary and will not in any way address the devastation suffered preferred by host communities, considered 10% as a minimum acceptable position. Going forward to what do we do next? Thinking of having a holistic view, and this can only come up after discussing the issues.
The INC president told correspondent Sobiru Wari that the signed PIB law is a complete deviation from the position of the Ijo region, especially the oil-bearing communities.
Our positions were taken. What came as a draft and what came out after this public hearing is just almost the same thing. So whatever that was proposed at the end of the beginning is like they were not bothered about people's feelings or input from anywhere. It's like we take this position, public hearings and all that. Like the public hearings were more or less a waste of time, because the essence of public hearing is to get input from people. And the only way this input become meaningful is when they form part of the decisions that are taken. But all of that.
Professor Benjamin Okaba also spoke on the recently released forensic audit report of the NDGC.
For us, you don't need an audit, but now that they said you're waiting for an audit, Nigerians are saying the audit is now out, and what next? So all of this will be taken care of, because we have spoken, we have made our own advocacy and all that. I think we should obsolete beyond that, and that is why I want to take our time to come up with another, not just a position, but I think something that is workable.
President Ogoni Liberation Initiative Douglas Fabeke has criticized the visit of the Minister of Environment to Kana in Ogoni yesterday. Dr. Fabeke, in a statement, said he expected the minister to have commissioned one of the emergency projects recommended in the UNEP report. Dr. Fabeke, who alleged that the cleanup has been politicized by the government, said the group would ensure that the death of Ken Sarawiwa and Ogoni 9 will not be in vain. He said HIPREP has not played a tangible role to ensure that the cleanup is done because its head office is situated in Port Harcourt instead of Ogoniland. He said his group will engage the government through all legal means to ensure that all UNEP recommendations are duly implemented. Dr. Fabeke, however, said he would publish a revealing book titled The Ogoni People and the Struggle for Justice to help people understand more about the Ogoni struggle. The chairman of Asari Toro local government, Onengiofuri George, has sworn in 5 supervisory councillors and 5 special advisors into his cabinet. Mr. George, during a brief ceremony held at the council secretariat in Buguma, charged the appointees to ensure service to the people of Asari Toro. He urged them to continue to remain loyal to the party and its leadership in the area.
It's time to serve the people. I am Ifiemi Andrew and my team, we said Asada first. Whatever thing I do, I remember Asada. And here we have taken the votes of allegiance. I want you to know, not winner take all. You all come from Asari Toro. The leaders of the LG, they profile you people and nominated your name. Not because today you are a supervisor and advisor, you feel you are above the law. You will start abusing your stakeholders, abusing your leaders, or fighting, causing problems in the community. We will not accept that. It is time to serve the people. It is time to serve the local government. You need to provide a solution how Asari Toro can move forward.
The Asari Toro Council boss, Onengiofuri George, urged them to mobilize the people to register in the ongoing voters registration exercise.
Now we are in voter registration. You need to provide a solution how Asari Toro can move forward. This voter registration, come out, because that is what Asada needed from you. Talk to your people. It's time for you to serve the people. As an opportunity to make your name in the book of Asari Toro. Respect the party that has nominated you. Respect your leaders. Respect the government.
One of the political appointees, Ifiemi Andrew, who spoke on behalf of the appointees, described their appointment as a call to duty. He, however, thanked the chairman and the leadership of the party for finding them worthy to serve.
It's a call to duty, and we're expected to perform based on the assignment that will be delegated to us by the executive chairman of the council. It's actually a position that requires the best, because this is quite challenging period. Very soon we'll be moving into elections, and the level of performance, will determine the followership and all that. So it's something we all will see as a point of duty to achieve the objective, for which we've been called to serve.
Our correspondent reports that the Asauga Council boss, Anengio Furi George, also inaugurated 26 special assistants. Construction workers began at the dilapidated community primary school Amakuibudo in Echie local government area. This is barely 1 week after the chairman of Echie local government area, Obina Anyanwu, ordered the immediate repair and rehabilitation of the school following a report by Nigeria Info FM about the bad state of the school. Recall that pupils of the school before now used stacked blocks as desks and chairs, and most of them sit on dusty and wet floors. But online pictures have shown construction workers on the site with equipment and building materials. Still ahead, a high court in Port Harcourt will continue hearing a trial case of 4 dismissed Eagle Crack team today. Stay tuned.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
A high court sitting in Port Harcourt will today continue hearing on the trial of 4 dismissed Eagle Crack team members accused of torturing to death Ikuku auto mechanic Chima Ekunado. Justice Florence Fibresima adjourned the matter after one of the lawyers to the dismissed police officer did not show up in court yesterday. Recall that 4 dismissed Eagle Crack unit members of the River State Police Command are standing trial for the torture and murder of auto mechanic Chima Ekunado, and 3 others who are now known as the Ikoku 4. The names of the officers who are being arraigned today include Ayogu Fidelis, Eke Chibuzo, Egbunefu Felix, and Rose Georgewell. They're all facing 7-count charges of conspiracy and murder, among others. In the meantime, the prosecuting lawyer Chidieke, shortly after the court proceedings yesterday, told correspondent Sebi Ruwari what transpired.
For continuation of cross-examination of PW3. Unfortunately, at the instance of the defense that was not ready to continue with the cross-examination, particularly the counsel to the 4th and the 2nd and 3rd defendants, we are not ready to cross-examine my witness who was in court, Ifiemi Osuji. And so because they weren't ready, they asked for an adjournment. And reluctantly, I conceded to that adjournment to tomorrow, which is a subsisting date.
The federal government has received 699,760 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine donated by the UK government. According to the acting British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Gil Atkinson, the donation is part of the 18 million doses the country had pledged to support the COVID-19 fight. The UK was one of the first countries to back COVAX with £548 million. Meanwhile, the executive director of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency said the vaccines will be deployed immediately with priority to those who already took the first jab. He also warned citizens against mixing vaccines. In business, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Simipri Silva says the current administration will work out modalities to cushion the impact of a possible increase in petrol price caused by the implementation of the PIB. Mr. Silva said this at a media briefing in Abuja yesterday.
One of which is that we know that, okay, this is going to entail increase in price. And if this is going to entail increase in price of this product, how do we alleviate the problems that will come with this increase? This is not a mindless government. This is a government that really care about the Nigeria. So we have to really look at all these possibilities of how to at least alleviate the pains and the problems that this increase that might be occasioned by the regulations will bring. And that's why we are taking our time. And that's why it will not happen overnight.
He said a transitional committee is already in place to incorporate NNPC Limited as it becomes a commercial company within 6 months. In sports, 2 days after he collapsed in a Ligue 1 clash versus Olympique Marseille at the Stade Velodrome, Bodo winger Samuel Kalu says he is fine and would return to training today. The Nigerian international collapsed just 6 minutes into the game in a fully packed stadium and gave the fans who are yet to get over the collapse of Denmark's Christian Eriksen at Euro 2020 a scare. After a few heart-stopping minutes, Kalu managed to stand up and resume play for a few minutes before he was substituted and replaced by Remy Odun.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
Former U.S. Vice President Mike Pence has joined in the criticism of the American pullout from Afghanistan with an opinion piece published in the Wall Street Journal, calling it a foreign policy humiliation unlike anything our country has endured since the Iran hostage crisis. Mr. Pence claimed President Joe Biden had broken a deal that the previous administration had made with the Taliban. The deal, Mr. Pence said, was to gradually withdraw from Afghanistan as long as the Taliban ended attacks on U.S. personnel, refused terrorists safe harbor, and negotiated with Afghan leaders on creating a new government. Mr. Pence claimed that Mr. Biden broke the deal by announcing that U.S. forces would remain. On the news this morning, Rivers Assembly has passed the anti-open grazing law and Rivers Residents Registration Bill. Federal government has confirmed the increase in petrol price. President Muhammadu Buhari will meet with security chiefs on Thursday. The Police Special Investigation Panel on DCP Abba Kyari are yet to submit a report. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Joe Biden has been said to have broken the deal with Taliban. The news was edited by Enoho Obeviri. Contact our newsroom on 0818-900-0017. For more stories, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Cloudy weather expected in Port Harcourt this morning. I am Ifiemi Andrew. Thank you for your time.